As China increasingly rivals American sea power, this, its latest aircraft carrier, the Type 003, also called the Fujian. Tonight, there are new satellite images that analysts believe show an engineering prototype for an aircraft carrier. The configuration does not match the Fujian or any other Chinese carrier. Analysts say that suggests that China is moving forward with efforts to build a nuclear-powered supercarrier.
We think this is them testing equipment and layouts for the upcoming Type 04 carrier.
The images taken between April and January at Dalian shipyards in northeast China. NBC News spoke to 5 experts with a deep understanding of the Chinese military, all assessing these 2 tracks, which appear to be the catapult launch system for aircraft, are a distinctive sign that China is beginning to move forward with the construction of a supercarrier.
Their current carrier, the Type 03, has 3 electromagnetic catapults, 2 up front and 1 at the waist. The general consensus is that their new carrier will have 4 catapults like the Gerald Ford and other U.S. carriers. So it'll have 2 up front and 2 at the waist.
A nuclear supercarrier would match America's latest generation of aircraft carriers, the Gerald Ford class, enabling China to project power across the Pacific and closer to America.
China Coast Guard 14608.
China flexing its muscles again this week, renewing live-fire drills around Taiwan. And a recent Department of Defense report estimated China's defense budget is 40 to 90% more than it publicly admits. That would match US defense spending in 2024. The Trump administration makes no secret that it sees China as a priority. The Secretary of Defense telling NATO leaders they should shoulder more of the security burden in Europe to free up US firepower, saying,
"We also face a peer competitor in the communist Chinese, with the capability and intent to threaten our homeland and core national interests in the Indo-Pacific. The U.S. is prioritizing deterring war with China in the Pacific."
China already has a larger navy than the United States and is matching many of America's technological advances and in some ways surpassing them. This small carrier is unlike any ship in any other navy. Some experts believe it is the world's first bespoke drone carrier. One purpose for its naval capability, Beijing says, to protect China's expanded trade links. For example, in 2023, NBC News visited a massive new civilian port in Peru. Could we one day see a ship from the People's Liberation Navy dock in this port?
Well, this port is oriented to commercial activities.
But China's determination to dominate the Pacific sits more than uncomfortably with America's long-standing role there. Experts say these new images suggest China's first nuclear supercarrier is a long way off, perhaps 5 years away or more. The US still has time for that long-talked-about pivot to Asia and for diplomacy.
And with that, Keir Simmons joins Top Story tonight. So, Keir, what is China saying about why it's escalating their defense capabilities?
Well, Tom, China has accused the US of, quote, provocations and has warned of a conflict caused by American actions. President Xi has said he aims to defend territorial sovereignty and to protect stability. But, Tom, here is a truism in defense thinking that hopefully doesn't apply here. One side may think it is taking defensive actions. The other side may think those actions are equally offensive, and that's how 2 sides can stumble into conflict.
And Keir, as you report on this buildup from China, here in the U.S., there's been so much coverage, especially here on Top Story, about what's happening with Elon Musk and the new Trump administration and DOGE and trying to cut out government waste and government spending. Is that hitting the Pentagon and our direct military spending when it comes to aircraft carriers and or weaponry?
Yeah, look, DOGE is looking at defense spending, but compared with the amount of defense spending, well, it may be kind of a drop in the ocean. I mean, stand by for some mind-bending numbers, Tom. The U.S. spends almost $1 trillion on defense. U.S. debt is $36 trillion. And so that is putting a limit on how much more the US can spend, and it has to be approved by Congress. So here's what the Trump administration is trying to do, and here's why it's so difficult. It's trying to manage the crisis in the Middle East, it's trying to tackle the Ukraine-Russia conflict, and at the same time, it is trying to cut defense spending, or rationalize, if you like, while turning and facing the challenge of China. It is an enormous challenge, Tom.
Keir Simmons for us tonight. Keir, we thank you for all your reporting.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.